This is going to be a guide on how to get rainbow feathers without having to go into the treasure trove. So the first requirement is getting Wingtip Valley to rank 5. I would recommend for getting this to rank 5 is you basically go from map node to map node and then beat the objectives. Also, if there is quick stuff to do, such as maybe killing some low-level enemies, or, sometimes mining trees is quick too, I'd recommend doing that, as each one of those will give like 15 to 30 points, and that should accelerate your ranking up progress. But, of course, these objectives will give you the biggest bonus. We are actually going to head over to this one at some point here. So there is 2 locations, or, well, technically there's more than 2 locations, but we have 2 locations where it'll spawn. So if you want a rainbow feather, you're going to want to go... Oh, we just lost it. So the big bird boss objective will spawn a big beak, and then also once you get to rank 5, there'll be a node on the map that spawns your big beak. And we gotta get a little closer for it to show up. And then this is always a big beak. The one from these objectives is level 70, so it will be a little bit easier to beat than the big one that's always on the map. For this example, I'm only going to do this objective one, but once we complete the objective, I will circle over to this and showcase what that one looks like. So, we're just gonna kind of head over here. Basically, this event works where it'll spawn like 4 enemies, and then you'll fight the 4 enemies, which I can defeat really quickly because they're fire enemies. And then the big beak will spawn, and then you're gonna want to beat the big beak.
Never panic in the kitchen.
The faster you kill your big, well, I guess the speed doesn't really matter, but if you want to optimize how many rainbow feathers you get, you're gonna want to kill your big beak faster. Which I gotta figure out what elements will be doing. But I have a water staff equipped, and it seems to either be resistant to that, or just it does normal damage. We gotta wait for the heated phase now.
Here, use this. There. Never panic in the kitchen. Or that.
The beak is slowly going down. Then basically you go up, grab the items, and then the big beak can drop wind mana, rainbow feathers. It'll also drop big beak eggs sometimes, so that's the thing to keep an eye out for. And then if you run out of objectives on the map, you can go do the one that always spawns big beak, which we'll go over to that now. And also, if the big beak does not, or there isn't a big beak on the map, I'd recommend changing from rank 4, or back down to rank 4, and then back to rank 5, which I can demonstrate. But yeah, there's this big beak that's permanently on the map. And then we'll quickly go over to demonstrate cycling the objectives, just to see if you can get another one, because if the big beak is on cooldown, you're going to want to be able to cycle your objectives, because then you might be able to get a big beak while your big beak is offline, and then you can just look, and if we get lucky, we got another objective saying the big boss bird. You can go do that instead of having to wait for that big beak timer. This is probably faster to do that than to wait on the big beak at the end every 5 minutes. So that'll be it for this guide. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.